Hello, everybody. Mrs. Mainland here. We're going to start chapter 1 of our Save Me a Seat. This chapter is called Ravi. What I would like for you to do is take a look at the slides that you're going to be completing after I finish chapter 1. And it's going to be the slides that are based on the what's the person. So before we read the story, we're going to talk about a first person point of view, a third person point of view. When you take a look at the little picture that I had put into this slide that's right below me, it says first person uses I, we. If you're writing from a second person point of view, it's using the words you a lot. And using a third person point of view is like somebody following you with a little camera and telling the story about somebody else. So they use a lot of he, she's, and it's, and they's, okay? If you look at slide number 2, it says, what's the person? So before you start writing, you're going to ask yourself, or you're going to think about that the authors make important decisions about how they want the reader to hear the story. And this is called point of view. So what point of view has Sarah Weeks chosen to write from? So did she choose to write from in the first person, the second person, or the third person point of view? Also, if you look on part 2, you're going to complete the T-chart of the characters about Ravi and Joe. You're going to include 5 to 6 points each for each character, making sure to talk about internal character features and external character features. Remembering that internal character features are features like thoughts and feelings and emotions that we know that the character is feeling. External character features are things like the way that they look, how do they sound, what clothes are they wearing, what kind of hairstyle are they wearing that might be said in the book, okay? So here is chapter 1, Ravi. Most people in America cannot pronounce my name. On the first day of my new school, my teacher, Mrs. Beam, is brave enough to try. Sir Yane, she says, her eyebrows twitching as she attempts to sound it out. Sir Yane Rhiannon, I say slowly. She tries again, but it's no better. You guys are going to have to help me out with some of these words. She tries again, but it's no better. I'm going to have to work on that, she says with a laugh. I laugh too. Sir Yanyan is my surname. My first name is Ravi. It's pronounced Ravi with a soft ra and a strong v, Ravi. In Sanskrit, it means the sun. In America, people call me Ravi with the stress on the first syllable. That doesn't mean anything. Patience is a virtue, Amma reminds me often. She believes that with time, people will learn how to say our names correctly. My grandmother tells me not to hold her breath. We moved to Hamilton, New Jersey a few months ago, May 13th to be exact. I'm fresh off the boat, as they say. My father got a promotion at his IT company in Bangalore, so they transferred him to America. In India, Amma, Appa, and I had our own house with a cook and a big garden. We even had a driver to take us wherever we wanted to go. My grandparents lived in their own flat nearby. Now we all live together in a townhouse in a place called Hamilton Mews. Things are very different here in America. Appa takes the train to work. We don't have a cook anymore, so Emma has to prepare all the meals herself. Our new house is much smaller than the old one. There is only one bathroom upstairs, which I share with my grandparents. I wouldn't mind so much, except that Paripa likes to take long showers, and Parima leaves her teeth in a glass by the sink at night. I learned to speak English when I was very young. We speak mostly English at home, and I went to an English medium school, but for some reason, people here in New Jersey still have trouble understanding me when I speak. I'm trying to learn how to swirl my tongue to sound more American. My grandmother doesn't like it. Be proud of who you are and remember where you come from, she tells me. If you're not careful, you'll turn into one of them. Your grandfather didn't slave in the tea plantation so that his only grandson would become some rude, overweight, beef-eating cowboy. I don't think Prima likes America. My school in India was called Vidya Mandir, which means Temple of Knowledge. My new school is called Albert Einstein Elementary. Prima could hardly wait to show off to all her new friends at home that her grandson had been accepted to a school named after a scientific genius. I'm not a scientific genius, but I am a very good student. My favorite subjects are math, English, and sports, especially cricket. Boys and girls, please welcome our new student, Ravi, Miss Beam says after she has taken the roll call. He's come to us all the way from India. Isn't that exciting? Mrs. Beam is short and round. When she smiles, her eyebrows touch each other. As I look around the room, a sea of mostly white faces stare back at me. I feel a little nervous. It's my first day of 5th grade in room 506, and I'm the only Indian in my class. There is one other, a boy named Dylan Samreen, but he doesn't count. He is an ABCD. American, born, confused, Desi. Desi is the Hindi word for Indian. I can tell Dylan is an ABCD because he speaks and dresses more like an American than an Indian. Tell us something about yourself, Ravi, Mrs. Beam says, smiling at me. Yes, ma'am, I say, standing at attention. Everyone laughs. Mrs. Beam claps her hands. Boys and girls, where are your manners? She asks. Go on, Ravi. We're listening. I push up my glasses and continue. My name is Ravi Surananian, and I just shifted from Bangalore. Everyone laughs again. What's so funny, I wonder? Mrs. Beam claps her hands. Her eyebrows are twitching like mad. Boys and girls, is this how we welcome a new student to Albert Einstein? The room gets quiet. The spotlight is on me. I can feel the whole class staring. This is my first day of school in America, and things are not going well. Mrs. Beam turns to me. You can call me Mrs. Beam, she said softly. And Ravi, here in America, students don't need to stand up when the teacher calls on them. Do you understand? Of course I do. I push up my glasses and rub my nose. It's something I do when I'm nervous. Mrs. Beam comes over to my desk. She has a look of pity on her face. Don't worry, Ravi, she says, patting me on the shoulder. You can introduce yourself to the class later, after we've had a little time to work on your English. We have a very nice teacher named Mrs. Frost in the resource room. I'm sure she can help you. I want to say, number 1, my English is fine. Number 2, I don't need Miss Frost. Number 3, I was at the top of my class in Vidya Mandir. But here's what I do instead. Number 1, push up my glasses. Number 2, rub my nose. Number 3, sit down and fold my hands. My friends and teachers at Vidya Mandir would have a good laugh if they could see me now. Their star student taken for an idiot. What a joke. Mrs. Beam is writing out our homework on the board. I open up my notebook and carefully copy down the assignment. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Dylan Samreem staring at me. He looks like a movie star straight out of Bollywood. His long, shiny black hair falls over one eye. With a quick jerk of his head, he shakes it away. Then he smiles and winks at me. I smile back. Dylan Samreen might be an ABCD, but I think he wants to be my friend.